So the second part was tricky, and you really, I think, needed to know your stuff to tackle this question. So providing merit goods free of charge is pretty common, and that's what we call public goods. And there's different types of merit goods. There's education, could be a merit good. Vaccinations is a merit good. You could say that public parks are a merit good. National defence, maybe. You could talk about this kind of things. Anyway, I think you need to make the link between these and top public goods. And they're provided because of, generally they tend to be free of charge and provided by governments because of things like they're really non-excludable, it's hard to keep people from it, it's non-rivalness sometimes. The free rider behaviour, especially for things like vaccinations that are provided. But these differ according to what type of merit good you're being explained to. But sort of backtrack a little bit. I think firstly you have to explain why governments would make things free. That's sort of where we talked about that to start with, and it's to do with positive externalities of consumption and also production for different things. So that's your first bit. Secondly, this is your evaluation part, and so the implications are possibly these. And a few people did this really well. Actually, what's the opportunity cost of the spending? Should government be spending money on these types of goods, especially if they need to up taxes? And do they tax people the same, or is it taxing the rich in a progressive fashion? Or, is it necessity? Is it how necessary is it to tax? How necessary is it to provide things free of charge for all income groups? Merit goods like swimming pools, maybe could the people on higher incomes actually pay for swimming pools themselves? So what's the point perhaps? And then there's all these kind of arguments about efficiency, like the quality of the products that are being produced, the merit goods being provided. For these public entities, the incentive for them to keep costs low, to innovate, to be progressive are all really kind of important things to do with sort of allocative and productive efficiency arguments. We kind of touched on these in class. So there's a bit of an example here. So students did quite well. A bit of an explanation of merit goods at the start, talking about positive, where the social benefit exceeded the private benefits. A bit of analysis, then trying to step into reasons why they should do that. Benefits of the scheme, and then this kind of bit here is talking about opportunity costs, kind of impacts of what government should do. This tends to need to be more depth. I think most people kind of struggled here to come up with enough of an evaluation. So again, it wasn't that harsh necessarily down here, but if you kind of come up with 3 or 4 points, had some examples of merit goods, you're definitely on the right track for a good grade.